All right, it is Alec versus Anthony Meglino. Sorry, I'm having such a hard time with his name. It's crazy. But Trent White just took down Joselito, and we're at the Sunshine State Tour. And Alec has the first go at it. Misses the ball trying to cut it. That was a very, very tough shot. Alec's a very emotional bass player. He's a great young guy. I expect greatness from him in the future. He's just puts a lot of pressure on himself. I like to see when he does well and controls it. He's just a young, hungry player, eager to prove himself. I love that about his game. And then, of course, we all know Anthony's a seasoned veteran, Florida killer. Alec Saputo versus Anthony Meglino. I wonder if this ball's going to hold. Okay, so the one doesn't necessarily have a pocket. He may be able to play a combo in between the 8-4. He may just draw back and play safety and just stick him on the 5 ball. I think I like that option. Just drawing it back about 4 or 5 inches. Boom. Anthony's really good at finding value in little pinches, and he didn't perfectly hook him. Maybe overhit it a little, but he still protected his position. And if Alex jumps this in, then hey, he deserves it. Anthony's safety was the right decision. He didn't get all out of the safety that he wanted, but who says that you can get all out of every shot? It's a game of percentages. So. Alec jumps it in almost in a miscue fashion. And now he's kind of up against the 9. He may only be able to hit the left edge of the 2 ball if he's lucky. And if that's the case, you got to dink the 2 behind the 9. I would never try to bank the 2 into the 9 here. I won't say it's a horrible shot, but I like to bank the 2 rails under the 9, play whitey. 2 rails down to the middle of the Brunswick. To me, that seems about the right move here. One, 2 to the Brunswick. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute perfection. I mean, the shot was masterfully executed. I mean, that shot seems easy. I mean, if you play snooker on 12-foot tables, they use these shots. They're called principal safes. Meaning when you're in a bad spot, protect your position, leave distance, end rail to end rail, and try to force your opponent to make something happen. And if you do that, you get rewarded for it. So I really appreciate everybody joining the stream. Brewland Billiards, what's good? Appreciate it. The salads are the bomb here. Brewlands has, graciously held this event, and we appreciate you guys. Predator Q's. Skillsforrent.com. So Anthony's tried to masse around the ball. A key thing about when you're masseing the ball over long distance, it's about the speed you hit. Because if you hit 3 different speeds, the ball's going to break at different distances. So if you hit it slower, it's going to break earlier. Firmer, it's going to break later. Alec just got a little complacent there. And he's... This angle's pretty small to get to the 5. I mean, this is going to be a masterful shot if he can get to the 5. Yeah, he really took the worst of it there. Now he needs to move try to play a bank on the 5 with left English and get it to turn. And then he played really good speed. When you're playing your banks, guys, you want to play it, I call it time and a half. So the distance, 4 feet, or whatever the object ball is traveling to get to the pocket, then you want to kind of be somewhere within the 1 and 3 foot. So it's like time and a half, I call it. And that's, trying to measure the object ball where it's arriving so you can create a little value with it. Hope that wasn't too much. We got TK and a lot of people around watching the match. You got Kyle Bova matched up over here 2 tables away, a young up-and-coming player from Florida. I got the honor to play with him. We went to the U.S. Open, and he just really he looked like he belonged, and it was just a great experience overall for Florida, even though we didn't bring back any trophies. But, you know, we all kind of stuck together, so it's kind of cool. Anthony with the straight back. I love it, Anthony. Now, the reason why that shot was so good, guys, is because he had defense, he had offense, and he had position. So now he's got his key ball. You want to think 3 balls ahead, to 6, to the 7, to the 8. So we're going to. He's jacking up, hitting down on this ball. Super hard. It's a very difficult shot. I think I just like to level out and turn that ball and just take my medicine, even if I'm on a tough cut on the 7. But, I mean, elevated hit, trying to throw the object ball from left to right. The only problem when you're elevated, you're hitting down on the ball, so it could swerve or it could deflect. So you could miss it both sides of the ball. Generally, when you're taking on a pool shot, you only want to have 1 miss, and it just depends on the angle. But if you have a chance to miss on both sides, you're taking the worst of it. So Alec shot that ball like John Brumback. He's here. He means business. He loves the game of pool. He puts a lot of time in, and he puts a lot of pressure on himself. All right, so with the great bank and then kind of a recovery shot, he had to float the cue ball and get on the 8. He got about 20 degrees the worst of it, and I suspect him. I'm probably the only one in the building that would do this. I'd play in the side and play shape on the 9 in the bottom right corner. And when you play in the corner, you got to let cue ball go around. It might scratch 2 rails in the side. So that's something to think about. He just floated it. And he got bad. He hit that ball absolutely perfect. The only problem was he ran into the object ball. If he doesn't hit the object ball there, he would be, dressing up. So it's a really good opening game here. Just a tremendous amount of transfer of value, and Alex made some great shots, and Anthony's defended. That's really what the sets are based on. Sometimes you get guys run 3-4 racks, but really these monsters will hold you in any position and protect. It's like a mother cub protecting her children. You got to protect every game. But I hope you're enjoying the commentary. Kamui Chalk, thank you so much. Kamui has been at the forefront of pool, and Alec came with a cross side from nowhere. Unbelievable. With these worn conditions, to turn that ball, I mean, granted, worn conditions help you turn the ball, but wow. I banked, and I did not even think to take on that shot. That was Navy SEAL sniper mode right there, activated. Alec Saputo, 1-0. Anthony Meglino, one of the most experienced people in the building, and he's hard on himself, but deservingly so. He's put in the time. Anthony's been the benchmark in Florida for a long time, so it's like, got to muster up the courage and take on the lion. Anthony's the lion. Got to work hard on your game so you can get to that next level, and you just got to apply pressure and make good decisions. So this is an alternate break format. Anthony hit it pretty good. He lost his cue ball, but fortunately enough, the 4 and the 1 are on the same side of the table. So. Hey, can you help me find this so I can see the comments on there? I don't know how to find it. There we go. Anthony just hit an unbelievable shot off the bottom rail. Literally bent it like Earl Strickland. Came up a little short on this ball. The 5 to the 6 isn't the difficult shot. It's just, you know, you don't really want to be that far away from your work, in my opinion, but Anthony just takes it on like a veteran. The pockets are like 5 inches, so it makes a little, you know, distance isn't as important. He got under the 7 here. Most people, you know, I like to use just a touch of outside on this ball or just below center and cut it a little more. Just depends on how you feel about the conditions, but he hit low and overcut it. So with the 3 ball out, Anthony's, it's no big deal. These tables, guys, even though the pockets are very acceptive, the ball's very responsive. So you can kind of have a little compassion for these players because it's hard to tame the cue ball. If you get a big angle and you got to use the extra rail, it's a little sketchy. So. Robert, I'm going to tell him to post the bracket, bro, but, you know, it's not really up to me, but I really appreciate you guys listening, taking Saturday to vibe with us. Predator has been a big help. We got Alec Saputo versus Anthony. The score is 2-0. Alex was just working with me on the break earlier. Kid's breaking good. You know what I mean? When you're prepared from the break, it gives you so much confidence going forward into the match. When you watch Dennis play, his number one thing, Dennis is not going to play no pool until he's got the breakdown. That's the one thing people don't know about that guy. He's like every tournament, just grinding the breakout. Because then when he gets to play pool, it seems simple and it's a lot less stressful. You know what I mean? Wow. Alec took a little flyer there. I think he should have played safe and kind of protected his position a little. But, you know, sometimes you got to go by your instinct. If you feel like the shot is the right shot at the moment, it can't be the wrong shot, you know, so. So, listen, the score's in the back corner. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Janine and Bobby are having fixed the score, like the names and the. So, I don't know how to change it. Let me see if I can get somebody to change it real quick. Can you fix this? Yeah, and Alec Saputo. All right, Nikki's getting the score and everything back up. Sorry, guys. I'm not, my wife does all my computer skills. I'm literally know nothing about a computer except for how to send emails. But Anthony is off to the races. Thank you, Nikki. It's 2-0. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, with a 2-0 deficit, and Anthony's got a small angle, I like just drawing this ball with a touch of outside, maybe no outside, just a little bit of draw, a little bit of outside, and he gets right in the middle. It's like an ideal position, the middle of the table. You can dominate the angle, can kind of work the cue ball how you need to. I hope he didn't get too straight in, but he's probably going to snatch it back to the bottom rail if I had to guess. Okay. He just stunned it. With that small angle, the way he worked that cue ball was absolutely amazing. Because small angle, getting the cue ball to travel that far, I thought was really a credit to Anthony's knowledge of the physics, you know what I mean? It's easy to move the cue ball with an angle, but when you have a small angle and you have to stun it, I like to use a little inside so I can cut the ball more and work the object ball back to the middle of the pocket. But Anthony just does it with his stroke. It's unbelievable. All right, Brewlands Billiards. Anthony Meglino is, and this score's wrong. She made it wrong. So it's 2-1. Alec. All right, I'm very sorry about the score. We got it all corrected. And now Anthony's to break. It's the fourth rack. Anthony makes the wing ball. Dresses up on the 2 ball, and the last ball rolling hooks him. So, not to say that he hit it bad, because he would have been straight in. Maybe if he does anything different, maybe hit it a little slower, because if the wing ball's going, I get it, you want to pop it and kind of force it in there. But sometimes those other object balls roll around. It's like, obviously you don't have complete control, but Corey Doolin, Donnie Mills, and players like that, they control most all the balls in the rack, you know, so something to think about. It wasn't a flaw. It was just, you know, the table's conditions real springy, kind of working against the power break maybe on these tables. $27 people, we need y'all to share the post. Get it popping. I'm on the mic. I want you guys to enjoy yourself. Take time from your day and let pool be the teacher. Like CJ Wiley said, let it love the game and let it build your mind and feed your soul, because the world's full of shitty situations. And, you know, pool can nurture you to feel better. It's a great game. We all are a bunch of degenerate pool players, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm really thankful for you guys tuning in. And Anthony pushed. Now he's going to pretty much, I mean, I think you're like 100% going to make this ball. Like, I would bet a large sum of money he makes the ball. You know what I mean? It is the right score. We're very sorry. Anthony's down 2-1. And he's pushed out to a jump shot. Sorry about that, Rodney. But, yes, that is the right score. Miss Meglino Shout out to the #1 mom supporter. Anthony's got a great mother. My mom's watched me play pool one time in 10 years. Anthony's mom's every time. I need you to call my mom, Miss Meglino. But give her some advice. She's been going through it the last 3 years. So Anthony's kind of hesitant about his angle of attack. The #1 thing about the jump shot, guys, is maintain your angle no matter what. Do not decrease your angle, okay? He kind of got jammed up. Yeah, you had it wrong. Alec just played safety, but this is why banks is so important, is that you have to understand the rails, and it's not like a flaw, but if he would have known that that was a possibility, you hold that ball with inside English, and it's going to guarantee you that that object ball gets to the middle of the long rail. No chance of making it. But, I mean, I like the 2-railer with speed. Give yourself a chance here. Got to hit it. Scratched. I don't think that was necessarily 100% deserving, but Alec put a good stroke on it. He gave himself every opportunity to succeed, and sometimes that's just going to have to be good enough because the game's so difficult. You know, you can't expect every time. You know, every once in a while, you know, the game's going to be cruel. And if you don't enjoy the torture, you're in the wrong game. 2-1. Anthony's got a little larger angle than he'd like, but really just use a touch of outside. That allows you to aim at the middle of the pocket, and it kind of slows the cue ball down. Aiming it fuller. 2 rails to a perfect angle to get on the 7. Now, this stroke here is draw, but you got to use outside or you'll come high on the 7. So you actually want to aim this ball to the inside of the pocket and use left. And turn the ball. It gives you a better cue ball. See, he overturned it, still got a little high, but that's manageable. If he doesn't use spin there, he gets on the high side of the ball, and boy, that's a tough spot with a lot of pressure in a close match. So something to consider how you work that ball out of the corner with the spin. Okay. It looks like it's going to be 2-2. The one thing many things I like about Anthony's game is how he takes each shot as its own. There's no more important shot than the shot in front of you. If you're having a hard time getting to the 9-ball or running racks or articulating your love for the game, just do one thing at a time, take a breath, and do one more thing at a time. It really is that simple. Now, when it gets you down, you just got to stay strong. We got 30. We got 30. Share it up. We need you guys. Randall Carter, what's up? How you doing? We got a 2-2 match. And there's always one thing you want to note when you're watching great matches with great players. Who won the lag? And it appears that Alec won the lag. So if he holds his serve, he can potentially run the set out. And Anthony could also run out, but Alec would get the last break. So that first break is so important. I really think, like, the great players, they work on their lag because they know how important it is to get that first game, you know what I mean? So much pressure. Okay, so Alex 2-2, and
Table 11, Lee and Benji, table 11.
It's a tough shot. I think you got to gamble a little here. And he gambled, and he fell a little short. Fortunately enough for him, he's left Anthony a little funny. I still feel Anthony can cut this ball in. When he cuts it in, you might want to use a little bit of outside to run into the 3. You don't want to overhit this ball so the 3 doesn't go too far. You just want to smooth touch of outside, bump the 3 out to the middle of the table. He really swung for the fence there. Alec's not really happy, but Alec had a chance to control him, and, you know, it'd be like that. The key to being great at pool, guys, is when something bad happens, it's not your opponent's fault, man. The ball has to stop somewhere. It hurts at the moment, but if you look at it more rationally, the ball has to stop somewhere. Unfortunately, 9 ball's a game of luck. And you just got to deal with it. Take your medicine. Like Justin said, take your medicine. It never feels good, but it's just part of the game. Now he's got a combo here. So for me, I'm definitely using outside on the cue ball. Reason being is you want to reduce the friction on the red 3. If you want to aim the 3 where you want it, you want to aim to overcut the 9 a little and just use outside and direct the 3 ball to the right edge of the 9. So by using outside, you're getting the object ball on the line that you're visualizing. When you don't use outside, the object ball is going to work it a little from right to left. So it's better to make the object ball go straight and overcut the 9 ball. A lot of people try to play that shot with no spin, and it's much more difficult. I give you my word. When you're playing an angled combo, the outside is your friend. It reduces friction on the first ball, allows you to get it down the line you want, and success is just a doorstep away, I promise. I should, right? A little freestyle flippers. Go get it. I'm gifted. I promise the precision. Well, we got the Beard here. Earlier in the tournament, he won a match, and then it literally sounded like William Wallace. I just went and slayed the village. He was yelling out. I said, "This man is off the chain." He says, he massaged around a ball, 3 rail, got under the 9. Said it was unbelievable. It's a beautiful game. You can't do that on every shot, but he was deserving. The match is over. There's no foul in that, I believe. I feel you're supposed to express yourself a little when you hold all that pressure in, bro. I'm not mad at you.
Typically don't do it, but all the pool players do it.
It's okay. When I was at the U.S. Open, you see these guys, they let out. But you know what I've learned is most of the guys that let out that energy at the match, if the tournament's not over, they fail the next match or two because the emotional disposition has changed now. You shouldn't be embarrassed. You should be proud of yourself. You fought hard, and even though you yelled out, I don't think it was poor etiquette. But if it was like in between the match, I think it.
It was more because of the shot. The shot was
I totally get it. Yeah.
super dope. So under the pressure, the shot was cool. And it's like, all right, cool.
For sure. Yeah.
You've seen me come with some weird 10-ball shots where I kick a ball in. And you're like,
I always tell people when you make a ball, fortunately, like if you get fortunate, it's because your preparation and your hard work. You deserve it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like veterans get rolls. Kawhi Leonard, he hit the rim. It went straight up in the air, and he triple bounced it in. He's a world champion. Never has to play another game of basketball again. I mean, legendary status. But he worked hard to get to that shot. Is my whole point. Just like you did on your shot. Anthony's going to work here now. It's 3-2. He's got a nice angle on the 5. For me, I like to aim this ball full with high right. He looks like he's cueing a little more middle. I kind of like to use high, so see how his ball went into a straight line? I like to hold the angle by using right a little bit there. But I like a little angle so I can go to the rail. But some people like to play stun shots and use the rails. Some great bar table players say don't use the rails, take them out of play. So it depends on your conditions. If you have like really, really consistent conditions, the rail is your friend, you know what I mean? But if you're playing in different rails, dead rails, wet condition, maybe, you want to just take the rails out of play and get the angle where you're going through the middle of the table. Yeah, like nips and pinches. You know what I mean? Anthony played perfect speed here. And the 9 ball, I like to shoot this ball, visualizing it going through the middle of the table. I don't know what some of you guys do, but I like to visualize that ball going through the heart of the table, and it gives me a great reference for later. And sometimes when you just shoot a ball recklessly and you don't measure where the cue ball's doing, there'll be a route that you'll need later down in that tournament. but you weren't attentive to that entire line, so it might affect your, yeah, free information every shot, right from Raymond Lenard's mouth, right here. Hey, 25 people. We need to share it. 4-2, Meglino. So he's breaking hard and he's not getting the results he wants. I'm a big fan of don't use your power until you're accurate, And if you got to hit him that hard and you're not getting a shot 3 breaks in a row, it's
There, he probably should have played safe behind the 9. Bank the 2 up one rail and just bring the cue ball naturally. That way you're not the one that's exposing yourself. You gotta
here.
roll.
So now I'm gonna put the mic on you.
So I think there he probably should have played safe, where you bank the 2 full and bring the cue ball behind the 9. That way he's not the one that has to come with the big shot and expose himself in case he misses or leaves Anthony a shot, because he's putting more pressure on himself and taking pressure off of Anthony to make the deciding shot for the rack.
For sure. Kick shot here. Tendency on this table, Raymond, is the tables play a little short. So he went a little long. I don't think that's actually the way a good player normally misses on a table that's closing down the angle.
If he would have gone 2 rails and caught the rail first, he would have given himself a really good chance. Good chance to make the ball and get shape.
Maybe he was playing the 2-railer and missed it short. Yeah, missed it short to the conditions. You know what I mean? So Alec came with a big shot here. Now, on this angle here, guys, I like to use the outside, reduce the friction. Some great players like to use the middle ball, vertical English. I'm big on coming across the ball so I can aim at it fuller by using a touch of outside. You know what I'm saying? He dinked that one in. He should have used more outside. You see what I mean? It tends to want to push into that bottom rail, Yeah, he might over snatch it. I think I like to go. I like to use outside here and play the 7 in the side. It guarantees me.
Feeling good, you'll punch it around, but if you're really feeling the heat, just
one rail it. That's me feeling the heat shooting that shot. If I'm feeling the heat, I let it go and come 3 rails around. Look, because outside reduces the friction. When you use inside and you jam up, you're going to cross that face of the ball. It's going to miss the bottom rail. Or you just blatantly, you can overcut it too, using too much inside.
No, that was just high ball.
High ball? If
You favor being on the left side of the 7, so you're on the natural line to the 8.
I like that. The angle wasn't too large to where, you know what I mean? So here I see a lot of great players, when they shoot this shot, they try to draw it like a half an inch. I know that sounds crazy, but it keeps their ball in a backward state of mind. What do you think? Just like a teensy bit? I've seen a lot of great players at US Open. When they're on the last ball, it's like they just put like a little more backwards than center. Just like it might be half a ball or something.
I think I try and
Just center.
as slow as I can, to where still the ball has authority, so I'm hitting it soft, but it has authority to the pocket.
So you hit slow run and drag.
Right, and so but I'm not trying to let the cue ball release either.
Exactly. You want to keep the cue ball in a backward state of mind, having more revolutions backwards than going forward. You don't ever want it to decelerate and release forward. Yes. Like 2 rotations of the cue ball in a short period of time. They say Efren hits the ball, right, at a slower speed on average than all the pros. It's crazy. Hey, Raymond's going to take over here. I need to use the restroom.
Make sure to wipe. No, 4-3 now. All right, we're getting the score adjusted here. Looks like Anthony's shooting the 3. Might just stop his cue ball there. He's got a cross table on the 4. He wants to bring the cue ball about where the 8 ball is now, on the, above it a hair, so he can have a good shot on the 5 in the opposite corner. It's got to be mindful of speed. There's 2 ways to do it. You can do it more draw and kind of just go direct past the 8, or you can hit it center and kind of go to the rail between the 6 and the 8. He's going with the draw. And he didn't really get there. I wonder if the 5 passes the 9. If the 5 passes the 9, it just felt like to me he was trying to get cross table but came up short. But maybe not. Maybe he was playing for this corner. So he's going to play the 5 and come 2 rails with a high ball past the center line of the table and play the 6 on the side. 5 passed. Going too far is better than not getting far enough. And he is on the safe side of the 6. So he's got a natural angle going down. He's just got to avoid the 8 ball. So he could either float it thin with a high ball or draw it and try and snatch it to the side rail. He's trying to feel it out. If he hits it slow and thin, he's got to avoid the 8 ball. You got to avoid the 8 ball, kind of drip it down to the bottom rail and come up for the 7. That's what he's going to do. Uses a little inside. Got a big spring off that bottom cushion. So now he's got a thin cut on the 7. At least he's got the full cue ball, so he can manipulate the cue ball, probably with a little bit of left-hand English. Spin it 2 rails to come up above the 8. If you're a 1-pocket player, you stop the cue ball and bank the 7 around. Stick him on the 9. I think Anthony's going to shoot at his hole, up 4-3. All right, looks like Anthony's lining up. It looks like he's coming at it with like a center left, maybe a slightly below center, and overcut the 7 slightly, and didn't get to the corner he wanted. He's still on this kind of like a 1-pocket position, overcut the 7 a hair, didn't get the cue ball all the way, but he's still good on the 8 in the same pocket. So a little fortunate, but natural for the 9. He pumped it over, let it stroke out, even hit the 2nd long rail. And this will put him up 5-3. Nice recovery there. All right, looks like Alec breaks dry. Anthony can see the 1. Not sure if he's going to opt to try and bank the 1 or just try and float underneath the 6. Looks like he's just going to roll it 2 rails underneath the 6. 1, 2, off the cushion. Almost got there, not quite. So he left Alec a shot with position on the 2. He's just got to cut the 1 on the side and float up table. Looks like if he floats up table, he might come close to bumping the 9 off the bottom cushion. So he's got to be mindful. He just floated it, didn't threaten getting there. So that was a nice shot. He's got to get on the 3. 3's right underneath him by the cushion, so he's got to be careful not to bump it. Next ball in rotation foul here. He avoids it nicely. And he's got an angle to come off the rail, natural. So this is ideal. If he can get just short of the angle he has now on the 4 off this 3, then he'll have natural position to the 5. And have a good chance to get out here. So let's see what he does here. He's going to draw the cue ball. Nice smooth stroke. Don't have to hit it too hard. He's got a good angle. He went too far. So now he's got to come with a nice draw stroke, swing it across, and then back. This becomes more sensitive. You got to manage the 7 ball. Shouldn't worry about a scratch at all. Nice shot. Stunned it over. So you got the angle, the cue ball to dive deep and then come across. This is the only problem now is that he's got a longer straight in shot on the 5, so he's got to play short side on the 6. So it's got to be a good pure draw stroke. He wants to come back 3.5 diamonds or so, almost 4 diamonds. Nice shot. Got past the side. Pretty ideal. Nice shot. Now he's got natural 1 rail shape, so good shot there. Needs this game. This is a big game for him. Put the pressure on Anthony. Yep. He's lining it up. Just a high ball. Just play speed to come to the middle of the table. If you overrun the 7, you have it in the corner. Don't try and put the English. Don't try and hold it up. Just make sure to make this 6. He really babied it. Almost decelerated a hair, but it didn't bite him. He got perfect on the 7. So here you want to pinch the cue ball back, but you want to protect that angle on the 8. So you'll be moving slightly closer to the 8, but you don't want to get flat. You want to get just like that. You want to have a nice angle. So all you got to do is pocket the 8, and the cue ball naturally comes over for shape on the 9. You don't have to do any work. Nice and easy, smooth stroke. It makes the pocket huge. He came all the way across. And straight on the 9. Nice out here. Looks like a 5-4 race. (5-4) race. Anthony's breaking. This is alternate break race of 7, winner side action. These Fargo rates are incorrect. Don't know what these are. We'll get those updated for you for the next match. All right, Anthony looks like he's switching over to break from the right. He smacks a 1. The 2 came up table. Not sure if he's got a clean shot. You can see the left side of the 2. He might go ahead and try and chop it in, but he's got to maneuver the cue ball to get back to the 3. Could also try and play safe. See how he's feeling. What's up to everybody in the chat? Make sure if you haven't done so already, press share on the live stream. Helps to get viewers in the door. See some of Florida's really good players. We're playing on 8-foot tables here at Brewlands in Lakeland. Good tournament today. A few heavy hitters. All right, Anthony's lining up the 2. If he cuts it in with high ball, no English, he'll go right into the 7. Might take a gamble there on where he would end up on the 3. The other option is to spin it, try and come 3 or 4 rails up table. He tried to use English, hit it great. 4 rails, might bump the 3 slightly. That's a great shot. He used the right amount of English to avoid, and he split the window between the 9 and the 5. And got rewarded. You know, the 3 was in the ball path there with the good speed. He bumped the 3 and ensured that he was going to get a shot. So nice shot there. Good aggressive option. Now he's got a play for the 4. 4 goes in the same side pocket. Goes in the corners. He might come 2 rails below the 4 here. Yep, 1 rail, 2 rail. Play the 4 in the same pocket. He's coming high. Looks like he's got the natural side of the 4. That's a great shot. Good speed. And it's a big game here. This makes it, puts Anthony on the hill with Alec chasing by 2, which guarantees Anthony will break on the hill. Or would make it 5-5. So big game. He's mindful of wanting to shoot the 4, but keep an angle on the 5. So he's elevating so that when he hits the bottom cushion, he can come off the cushion and get an angle to go up table. It's everything. So if he just floats this in and makes it but doesn't get an angle, it's, you know, makes his life hard. Pinches it. Tried to avoid the 5, but went into it. And now didn't get good, clean position. So now you might see Anthony try and play safe. Like maybe elevate and bank the 5 away and stun the cue ball, try and get him close to the 9. The other option is just try and make it. But I don't know if he wants to try and float it in the side. Again, this is an important rack. Okay, Anthony's lining it up in the side. I guess he figures if he just floats it in and makes it, he can take a pretty makeable longer shot on the 7. Take his chances going down swinging. Okay, he's lining it up in the side. He'll probably play speed so that if he misses it to the short rail, the adjacent rail where he's at, then it'll end up on the bottom cushion. So medium speed, split the pocket. Notice that if he would have caught the cushion there, 5 ball would have ended up on the bottom rail and left him almost like a backside safety there. So now he's got the makeable shot on the 7. Probably see him 4 rail the cue ball again. Unless he feels like he's got a full enough ball where he can just float it and come to the middle and play the 8 in the side. If not, if he's feeling like it might be too touchy, then he might let the cue ball go to the third rail up table and then back around for the 8. This is a rolling ball. Hair of outside English. He rolled it. Good speed. Had a nice full hit. So less difficult than it looked. Nice speed. And yeah, this is going to put Anthony on the hill if he can make this 9. Alec will be breaking down 2 games. So he needs to hold his serve and hope that Anthony does not get out on his serve. Nice out. Six, 4. Both guys seem to be playing pretty good. Alec with the rack. 2 has to be touching the 9 behind the 9 in this tournament. 9 is on the spot. We're playing on 8-foot Brunswicks. Okay. Alec looks like he might have slugged himself there. Rack didn't seem to come apart well, even though he hit him pretty hard. 3 and 9 are touched up. I'm not sure if the 3 passes the 9. That might be a saving grace. It looks like it goes in the side. So Anthony might try and shoot the 1 in the corner, float up, and leave himself a cross table shape from the 2 backup table for the 3 in the side. If he can do that, then he can get below the 3 because the 4 doesn't go down here. It goes in the side. Yep. He's a little full, though. This is not great for cross table action. Not sure why he put so much inside. Don't know what he can do as far as exact angle to manufacture something, but maybe he can yank it all the way back to the short cushion and then come back. Or maybe just go back into the balls. Stun. It looks like him lining this up makes me think that the 3 does pass the 9. It might just look like it doesn't from the camera, but he's playing it like it goes, so if that's the case, then he should be good here. Yeah, it goes right in. A little deceiving from the camera angle. Shout out to Anthony's mom, Andrea, in the chat. Nice to see you. All right, looks like Ant's got the 4 in the side, but he might have to whip the cue ball around. Alternatively, he could just float the 4 in and take a long, thin cut on the 5 and just secure the angle because he's got to get up table for the 6 anyways. And really the priority here is not getting close to the 5, but keeping that angle. You might see him just play to the middle here with outside English. Oh, no, just babied it in. Lefty angle. Yep. So now he's just going to play this to come to the short cushion. You know, 2 rails. He definitely wants to hit the bottom rail and come up. And if he can do that, he'll be on the natural side of the 6, and the match should be over, and Anthony will advance on the winner's side. But he's got to make this shot on the 5. High ball, just a hair of outside. Hit it slow, nice speed. The English grabbed. Brought him up table. Let's float this in. Well, he yanked it over. Nice shot. He's on the good side of the 7, I think. If not, I think he can yank it back and come 1 rail, withdraw. Looks like he's queuing low. Yep. Little English. Hit that great. Came all the way across. Got pretty good. He's slightly on the inside of the 8, but he should be able to manage this no problem. All right. High ball. Just 1 rail up. Good speed for Anthony. And this should do it, I think. Just waiting for the table next door. Alec making him shoot it like he's supposed to. All right, Anthony gets clearance to shoot the 9. All right, good match. Anthony wins 7-4. And we'll be back with our next match.